We're going to talk about this guitar in a second, but
Yeah.
what tunings are you using altogether?
So this guitar stays in the open C sharp and C sharp minor. The gold tone is it's like open F, but all of my stuff is kind of tuned down a half step. So whatever that is.
Yeah.
I play blues. I don't know these letters and stuff. And then that one also, and then that one is open C-ish, and then standard on the parlor guitar.
Cool. Yeah, and these tunings, as you mentioned earlier, you alluded to Skip James.
Yeah.
And there's a guy named Henry Stuckey who sort of brought these tunings back from playing with soldiers from other countries in World War II, guys from the islands and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're part of this big tradition, but you're expanding it and taking it to a bunch of cool places. And this is a cool guitar anyway, so before we get into that too much more, why don't you talk about this hip-looking Mule?
Yeah, this is my Mule. It's the Mavis. It's really like taken on a life of its own. People will sometimes show up to my gigs just to look at it. But yeah, the guy Matt from Mule, he reached out to me one day, and I think it was before I had a record deal or anything. He was just, he keeps an eye on guitar players on the internet, and he just, he wanted me to play one, and now I am very grateful for that. It's got this kind of P90 style looking thing.
Yep.
I don't know really what's going on in there, but I think this one actually is a tricone. I think a lot of the Mules have 3 cones in there, but they look like a single cone. I could be making that up, but I think it feels right.
But I like the pick guard too, and I like that single old school control on top, the volume control on top.
Yeah,
it has the vibe of like those old harmonies and Ks and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But in a resonator, so that's pretty it.
Yeah.
How's the neck on this thing? Is it a thick profile neck? Or
It's kind of in the middle. I guess it's hard to say because I've been playing a lot of really beefy necks, so I have a different kind of standard. But it's not super thin, but it's not like overly baseball batty either.
And the detail's great too. I love the way that they've aged. They've aged the pickup cover. They've aged the cover on top of the resonator chamber. Even the hardware on the tuning pegs looks like it's been sitting around for 30 years.
Yeah,
but,
people think it's a lot older than it is, and I beat it up with myself a little bit, but it all just really goes well together. It's great.
Well, it's a hip guitar. Can we hear a little bit of it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to just pull back a little bit so I'm out of the way.
Yeah, I do. I play it clean a lot, which is really pleasant. And a lot of the effects like I was doing earlier. And yeah, sometimes I'll just run it through the my acoustic signal chain and give it a kind of, I think that's playing in there, but yeah, it kind of sounds pretty cool with the my acoustic chain and just give it a more natural sound too.
Yeah, it's just a really good sounding guitar, period.
Yeah.